Welcome to Adobe Illustrator Part 4 tutorial. In this lesson, I'll be discussing the width tool, or how we're going to adjust the width of a stroke using the width tool, and also the blend mode. So how we're going to blend two shapes in Illustrator or in your artwork or in your artboard. And also I'll be discussing the 3D effect and image tracing. So if you wanted to convert your sketch into vector drawing, and you can use the image tracing technique in Illustrator. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so we're going to start with the width tool. So the width tool is a tool used to adjust the width of a particular stroke. So let's say, for example, if we're going to use a pen tool and we are going to create a curve or even a line. So let's draw a curve first. Okay, so let's make the stroke thicker. So we can select the selection tool, then increase the stroke size. Okay, so we can use the width tool, or we can press Shift W. Okay, take the width tool. So position the pointer to the vector line, so or to the portion where you want to expand or to adjust the width. So let's say, for example, from this portion, just click and drag. Okay. So let's say, for example, we're going to lessen the thickness of this portion. Okay. So we can do that also in the middle. Okay. So we can use this once again. So that is the purpose of the width tool. So basically, you are pulling or you are expanding the width of a particular portion of a stroke. Okay, let's do another one. So let's use a straight line. Let's draw a straight line. So let's increase the stroke. Okay, so let's use the width tool. Use the width tool. Then click on the vector line, then click and drag. Okay. We can do this in this portion. Okay, so that is the purpose of the width tool. Okay, so next we're going to use the blend tool. Let's create a new file. Okay, for the blend tool, so the purpose of a blend tool is for you to blend two different shapes. So let's say, for example, we're going to draw two different shapes. So let's start with a circle. So let's draw a circle here. So let's add color. Let's add a little bit of stroke. Okay, so let's say we're going to create another shape, which is the star. Okay, so let's change the color of the star. So let's make it yellow. Okay, so all you have to do for you to be able to use the blend tool is to select the two different shapes. So let's say this one. These two shapes, the circle and the triangle, the star. So we're going to use the blend tool. Okay, so click from one shape to another, then click again to the other shape. Okay, So that is how the blend tool works. So it blends the two different shapes all together. So you can change the how blending is how blending effects on the shape by double clicking on the tool. So double click the blend tool. So you can use the smooth tool or you can use the specified steps. Let's make it 10. Okay? So you specify how many steps of blending from one shape to the other. Okay? So let's try 7. Okay? So it's just 7 steps. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So from one shape to another. Okay? So you also have the specified distance. Okay? So let's say 1. Okay? So, but let's try the specified steps. So that's 7. Click OK. Okay, as you can see, once you blended the two shapes, so you still have the vector line here. So you can still add anchor points. So let's say, for example, we're going to add anchor points. Add anchor points on this vector line. So click. Let's add anchor point. Okay. So we can also use the direct selection tool to move that anchor point. Okay. So again, let's try to add another anchor point. Then use the direct selection tool or press A. Then reshape. Okay. So you can always change how the blending looks like. So just double click again the blend tool. Then let's add more steps or the specified steps value. So let's say 100. Let's click the preview. Okay, so let's reduce a little bit. Let's say 50. Okay, so that's how the pen tool, the blend tool works. Okay, you can double click on the shapes for it to be able to move. Okay. And always go back to the artboard. Okay, again, double click on the shape. So you are now on the isolation mode. So basically you isolate this shape so that you can move this shape and the other one is fixed. Okay, so to go back to the artboard, just click back one level. Okay, so that is how the blend tool works. Okay, so next we're going to use this one for text. So let's create a new file. So let's make our artboard in landscape. Okay. Okay, so let's use the type tool to add text. So I'm going to type art. Let's increase the size. Okay. So let's thicken the font. So let's use Arial black. Okay, let's change the color. Okay, so let's duplicate. Press and hold Alt. Then for you to duplicate the text, press and hold Alt, click and drag. So we now have two text here. Okay, let's change the color. Let's make it red. Okay, So since we've used the type tool, so if you're going to select this one, the two texts, the blue art and the red art text. So what happens here is that you cannot use the blend tool. Well, because the text here is created using the type tool. So what we're going to do is we're going to convert it into a shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click, then create outline. Right click, create outline. Same as well with this one. Click, select, then create outlines. So you converted the text into shape. So this time you can now use the blend tool. Okay, click the blend tool, click from one text to, or one shape to another. Okay, so this is how if you're going to double click the blend tool, so by default that's smooth color, but this is how it looks like. So we can change how it looks like by selecting the specified steps. For example, let's make it 100. Okay. Okay. So that is the purpose of the blend tool. Okay. Again, you can double click. Okay. You can change the color again. Okay. Go back to the, so exit on the isolation mode because you double clicked on the text. So for you to be able to move this, so you are now on the isolation mode. Then go back again. Okay. So that's how you use blend mode using the blend mode on text. Okay, so next we're going to use the 3D effect in Illustrator. So let's add a text. So example, we're going to add text. So let's type art. Let's increase the font. So let's make it Arial black. Okay, so let's change the color a bit. Okay, so this is our text. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the 3D effect. So click the text, then click effect, 3D, then extrude and bevel. Okay, so you can click the or check the preview here. Okay, so you now have the 3D effect. So you have different adjustments here. So it's a matter of setting the adjustments. So you can change the degrees of dimension. Okay, and other settings here. Okay. So just explore the different settings here. So for you and for you to be able to achieve the desired result. Okay, so that's our 3D effect in Illustrator. Okay, so next is we're going to use the image trace in Illustrator. So if you have a sketch, let's say for example I have here a sketch. It is a sketch on paper, and you can take photo and scan that drawing or sketch and convert it into a vector. So you can do that in Illustrator by using the image trace tool. Okay, so let's start with the Adobe Illustrator. So this is our artboard. So what we're going to do first is we're going to place the photo or the sketch. Click File, then Place, then let's add the artboard or place the artboard the sketch on the artboard. Okay, so let's resize a bit. Okay, so we have here the sketch on our artboard. So what we're going to do is we're going to click the image trace. So we have the image trace button on the option bar. Okay, so as you can see, there are some lines which are missing. So we can change how image tracing works in Illustrator. So for you to be able to enhance the quality of the image tracing, so you can go to Window and look for the image trace. Okay, so by default we have the tracing result, which is a black and white mode. Okay, so we can adjust the threshold. So you have the sliders. Okay, so you can adjust until you get the desired lines. Okay, so you still have the advanced adjustments here. We have the path. Okay, it's just a matter of adjusting the sliders for it to be able to get your desired output. Okay. Okay, so when you're done, you can close the image trace panel. Okay, so for you to be able to change the color of the so basically your sketch is already converted into vector drawing. So for you to be able to add colors, you can always expand. So click expand. Okay, so when you click expand, as you can see, you have different anchor points. So you can now modify the lines. Okay, so as you can see, you can use the direct selection tool to select portions of the image or the drawing. Let's say, for example, this one. Okay, so actually the portion here do have a white color. So this is a white color. Okay, so you can now change the color of this shape. So use the direct selection tool. Use the direct selection tool. Select portions. Let's say this one. Then let's change the color. Okay. So let's select portions here. Okay. You can now recolor this one. Okay. Another way is that as you can see, if I'm going to use the direct selection tool, so we have shape here. That's why we can change the color. Okay. Let's say if you wanted to do manual way of coloring it. Let's say, for example, we're going to use the brush or the blob brush tool. So we can use the magic wand tool. So this is the magic wand tool. So as you can see, this portion, if I'm going to use the direct selection tool, this portion is a white colored shape. So that's why we can change it into other color. Okay, you can change it to another color. So if you wanted to remove all of the white colors, so you can use the magic wand tool. Click on any white portion on the image or the sketch. Click, then delete. Okay, so as you can see, you can no longer select this portion because the shape inside it, which do have the color white, is already deleted. Because again, let's undo. So when we image trace and expand, so these are different shapes. And since that is black and white, so some of the shapes are in white color. Okay, in this case, this is also white. So we can change the color here. Okay, so what if we wanted to remove all of the white colors, white colored shape? So you can use the magic wand tool. So click on the white portion on the sketch or the image. Click, then press delete. Okay, all of the white portion is already deleted. So if you're going to click the direct selection tool, you cannot move the shape because there's no white colored shape here. Okay, so if you wanted to do it manually, you can always use the brush tool. So let's say, let's make it brown. So again, going back again, so we have the draw from behind. Okay, so meaning to say that the magic wand removes all the white portion of your image. Okay, so that's why you can no longer select it as a shape because the fill or the shape is already gone because you deleted it using the magic wand tool. Okay, so the remaining portion is the stroke. Okay, this is the stroke. So you can now, since the stroke do have different anchor points, you can always change how it looks like, or you can reshape the stroke because of the anchor points. Okay, so that's how image tracing works in Adobe Illustrator. So from sketch, you can convert it into a vector drawing. So for you to be able to easily color your drawing from sketch to vector drawing. Okay, so that will be all for our part 4 of our Adobe Illustrator lesson.